Have you ever gone on the internet and noticed mistakes in the English language? Of course, we all have. I am making this video because seeing the same mistakes over and over, and by grown-ass adults as well, bother me. And I fear that some of these mistakes will go viral and change the language forever. And I do not want that to happen. Of course, during the course of this video, while I'm talking, I probably make mistakes myself, making this whole video ironic. English majors will probably cringe, but for the regular person, he or she will probably not notice these more subtle grammar mistakes. Welcome to my video. These are the top English mistakes I see again and again on the internet. Number 17. Excited is spelled with a C between the X and the I. I see EXITED sometimes. That is pronounced exited. Number 16. I didn't know this either until I went to law school, but MS period is pronounced Mizz, not Miss. MISS is Miss. MS period is Mizz. Number 15. Sometimes I see people type COMMON when they mean to type COME space ON. COMMON is pronounced common, while COME space ON is pronounced come on. Number 14. This is a mistake I see from time to time, and that is the spelling of definitely. Some people spell it DEFIANTLY. That is defiantly. Definitely is DEFINITELY. Definitely not too common a mistake. Number 13. This is another mistake I see from time to time, and that is spelling ridiculous with an E. There is no E in ridiculous. It is not ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Think about the root being ridicule. For guns there is reticle or ridicule, but that is not the same word. Number 12. Saying and I for everything is wrong. My mother cooked for my sister and I. Wrong. My mother cooked for my sister and me. I is the subject pronoun that refers to yourself. Me is the object pronoun that refers to yourself. My sister and I bought our mother a gift. My sister and I cooked for our mother. Number 11. For this next one, we are venturing into slang territory. Rekt is a word used to describe when someone has defeated someone very convincingly in something like a video game. It is already in the past tense. It is the cool way of saying wrecked, as in WRECKED, meaning wreck is the present tense root of that word, WRECK. But I see rekted from time to time. Rekt will suffice. Number 10. We know that the past tense of read is read. It is spelled the same way, but pronounced differently. The only way you can know is by reading the context, and with experience in the English language. The verb lead, however, is not like read. The past tense of lead is led. LED. Lead is a chemical element with symbol PB and atomic number 82. Number 9. Eschew is a word that means to abstain or keep away from, shun, to avoid habitually, especially on moral or practical grounds. It is commonly used by people to feel smarter than other people, when more common words would suffice. On dictionary.com, the pronunciation is
eschew,
but on Merriam-Webster.com, the first pronunciation is
eschew,
in general. The most common pronunciation is eschew. On Merriam-Webster.com, there is also one final pronunciation, being eschew, but it is very uncommon. I remember listening to a Game Explained podcast where Ash Paulson was insulting a speaker who said eschew, but that speaker wasn't wrong. Number 8. I understand that English is an overly complicated and illogical language, so this next one may be hard to grasp, and it is the problem of not using past participles when they need to be used. The most common example I see is when people say have followed by a verb. Some verbs do not have past participles, like walked. I have walked to the park. Walked is the past tense of walk. There is no word called walkin'. But some verbs do have past participles, like eat. I have eaten breakfast. We don't say, I have ate breakfast. You could say, I ate breakfast, but not, I have ate breakfast. Number 7. Rogue and rouge are words that are commonly confused for each other all the time. This is also understandable. When we pronounce rogue, we say ro followed by a hard G sound. G. We don't say rogue or ragu. Rouge is any of various red cosmetics for coloring the cheeks or lips. A reddish powder, chiefly ferric oxide, used for polishing metal, glass, etc. In Sonic Adventure 2, one of the characters is Rouge the Bat, but it seems like every time she is mentioned, her name is spelled like rogue, and every time we need the word rogue, it is spelled like rouge. Let us fix this terrible mistake, and thus make the world a better place. Number 6. Would've, could've, and should've are actually pairs of words called contractions that are created by using an apostrophe plus VE. Would've, for example, is formed using would and have. Many people think that the second word is of. That is understandable because that is how you pronounce the contraction, would of, but it is not what makes up the words. Number 5. Lose is a popular verb that we use on the internet. When we play competitive video games, there is a winner and a loser. But although loser is pronounced loser, it is not spelled with 2 O's, but L-O-S-E-R. I see Y-O-U-L-O-O-S-E all the time. How would we pronounce this? You loose. Loose means free or released from fastening or attachment, free from anything that binds or restrains, unfettered, uncombined, as a chemical element. If you wanted to spell the word phonetically, I would understand if you spelled it L-O-O-Z, but not L-O-O-S-E. Number 4. Entitled is a trendy word that is thrown around a lot these days, but it is not being used properly. To call someone entitled would be saying that he or she is actually entitled to something, as if you actually believe that he or she deserves something. What we should be saying is that he or she acts as if, or believes that he or she is entitled, when in fact he or she is not. See the difference? One is actually being entitled. For example, after the old man passed away, his son was entitled to his father's estate. When we are insulting people over the internet, we do not want to say that they are actually entitled to certain things that they are not. We want to say that they have false beliefs of entitlement, delusions of grandeur. For example, let's say that a spoiled person on the internet believes that a company should do something for him or her for no apparent reason, other than he or she has consumeritis, or the belief that the consumer is always right and has a right to be asinine to the seller of something just because he or she is giving the seller money. You don't want to say, "You are entitled." That means he or she is entitled. You didn't say what he or she is entitled to either, so that is vague. What you want to say to that person is, "You are acting entitled to some part of that company's goods or services," or "You have a false sense or belief of entitlement." Number 3. This is a spelling mistake that has taken over the internet like a virus. The proper spelling of woe is WHOA, but more and more people are spelling it WOAH. Maybe they are from a parallel dimension where it is spelled that way. In this dimension, however, woe is not spelled that way. Let's keep it that way. Number 2. This is one of the most common mistakes on the internet, and that is using an apostrophe S to make something plural. The only time that this is correct is when you pluralize single letters. For example, how many A's are there in the alphabet? When you make an acronym plural, just add an S. No apostrophe needed. Number 1. When you use an apostrophe S, it usually denotes possession. The dog's puppies, the puppy's mother. With it, however, IT apostrophe S actually means it is, or informally, it has. The possessive form of it is actually ITS. It doesn't bother me when people skip apostrophes altogether. Some people just don't feel bothered to use apostrophes when writing on the internet. I get that. It bothers me though when old people who are smart in other areas do not know the difference. Some of them actually use apostrophes, but use them in the wrong locations. So they will use ITS to mean it is or it has, and IT apostrophe S to mean the possessive form of it. Thank you, gentle viewer. I hope you've all enjoyed my program today. If you make some of these mistakes, I hope you didn't take it personally and instead learn. I just wanted to increase the literacy level on the internet. Have a great day.